Hello guys and welcome to Men of War 2. Today I wanted to share with you a first look at the multiplayer tech test that happened over the weekend. It was an opportunity for the developers to try out their new game mode, Frontline. And I wanted to bring this to you guys today because for those of you familiar with the channel, it's actually quite similar to Steel Division 2. Let's jump into player versus player. And first of all, we need to choose our regiment. So this is very similar to battle groups in Steel Division 2. We choose a regiment and then we can edit the regiment and choose what we want to bring in each slot. So in the first echelon here, we can bring in some rifleman recruits. We could change those for SMG recruits, for example. Or we could get a light infantry squad or a Pack 35 or bring in a fuel truck, something like that. And all of these different slots have different options as to what you can replace with them. That's very cool. In the background you can hear the units changing and you can look at them and see what advantages and disadvantages they have. Some basic stats and stuff, some information, very cool. And yeah, you can switch things in and out and edit your regiments. But we're going to be going with the 1436 Self-Propelled Artillery Regiment. It's a German artillery regiment. Let's jump on in. Here we are in the game. So we're going to have 35, well I think it's 40 seconds to deploy some troops at the start. Let's bring ourselves in some riflemen. And we're going to bring ourselves in a Sturmgeschütz. And we'll push up on this right hand side as soon as we're able. So this is kind of like the deployment time, and then this white line will disappear and the battlefield will open up for us to start pushing. So a basic description of how we win the game. We have the points at the top, both teams starting with 991, and we can get points in three ways. We can push the front line, which starts at the 50-50, this front line. Pushing that forwards and having more than your opponents will give you points. And the second way is by killing enemy units. And then the third way is by completing secondary objectives that pop up during the game. So we'll be trying to complete some of those throughout this battle. But I want to show you guys a full multiplayer battle today. So it's got all of those juicy Steel Division mechanics. You can see even on the right hand side we have the echelons, which can come in after a certain amount of time, so even that's very similar. I'm just going to spread out my infantry here, and we're going to start delving into the Men of War mechanics. So you can see each of my infantry, they can throw their anti-personnel grenades, anti-tank grenades, they can even throw a knife. We can build ourselves sandbags, for example. We can make ourselves foxholes. We can dig entire trenches like this guy is doing. But for now, what we're going to do is probably just focus on foxholes because we're already under attack. And this chap is very dead. He needs to lie down. Okay, too late. So infantry micro is very interesting in Men of War. It always has been. It's been one of the staples of the series for a long time, micromanaging each different unit with crouch, prone, sprint, throw grenade, and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, this chap just got turned into red mist. But what I will say about Men of War is that the graphics don't seem to have improved much since Assault Squad 2. Not overly impressed with the models and stuff, but the mechanics are definitely there. I think the only mechanic that has significantly changed is the houses and how houses work. Because before, you could like enter a building and you could select which window you want to be at, what room you want to be at, and all that good stuff. Now, when you jump in a building, I'll try and show you guys later on, basically you don't have any control anymore. it just automatically runs to the window closest to the enemy, which is not always what you want when you're hiding in a building. I'm trying to kill this AT gun right now with my Sturmgeschütz. It looks like we managed to get it there. Can you see the kills popping up in the top right? Now the interesting thing about this multiplayer tech test is I feel like Men of War is not really a game that's well known for having a strong multiplayer. It's very much a game that I've always played personally for single player. I played through the entirety of Men of War Red Tide, Assault Squad 1, Assault Squad 2. And with Men of War 2 I'm looking forward to the single player very much, because the missions are always fun. But it seems like the developers really want to put an emphasis on the multiplayer. And I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, as long as it doesn't sacrifice quality in the single player. What they have done so far is not too bad. They've introduced a lot of the still division mechanics, you know, the decks, frontline phase system, that kind of stuff, which is good. You know, I'm totally on board with that, of course. I really like the system in Still Division 2. I think it's great. And I think in Men of War it can work really well, because it's basically the same thing on a smaller scale, and you have more micro capability on your infantry. So yeah, it's really cool, in my opinion. I like it a lot. Let's see if we can get rid of this 75 mil. It keeps pinging me with HE rounds. There's also an AT rifle squad here somewhere. Oh, nice. I think we direct hit it. We must have direct hit it. Oh, it's the pack that's pinging me. That's what it is. He took my track off. That's a bit of a pain. Right, we're going to bring up some more recruits because my infantry have almost run out. There we go, finally. Decrewed that AT gun. We're going to be attacking here soon. This is the first of the side objectives I was talking about. I think each team gets 2 available throughout the game, and the idea is that you prepare for your push with the time it gives you, and then as soon as it goes red and the little circle pops up, if you take the circle you get the point. So you get the points which make things better for your team score. We have now moved into the second phase, so the Echelon 2 is now available, the second Echelon, which allows me to bring in a Brumbier, which I just did. We're going to lie down with these chaps. And we're going to destroy that bunker, because that is not friendly. Unfortunately, my guys are taking a lot of damage. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get this point. There's just way too much here. Nice nade though. Let's see about hitting these submachine gun boys before they dig themselves in. There we go, beautiful. Good hit. I don't have any infantry to push up though, so that's a bit of a problem. I don't think they're going to get there in time if I bring them up. Also, now we might have time to fix this up. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is get my crew to put camouflage on the tank. So repair, I believe, has always been a thing, but yeah, putting the camouflage on is really cool. We might want to turn off fire at will while we're doing that, just so that it doesn't reveal itself. And that way I can now move. Ooh, let's shoot these, please. I can direct fire it if I want. Probably be more effective. Oh, perfect shot. Perfect shot. Yeah, definitely no time to capture this one, unfortunately. That's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to just spread out my guys here. And we'll dig into our own little foxholes. I'm just going to dig it deeper. Just get my Sturmpanzer to keep hitting these in the meantime. Oh, they're making like a full-blown trench. Okay, let's just allow them to stop that and start firing. Good old trench warfare. Guys getting stunned there. My Brumbia smashing them. We might want to move because that IL-2 is looking menacing. Okay, it was going for my Brumbia. Managed to keep that alive. Alright, good. So, we need to look out for the next attack that we'll be able to do at some point. You can see there is a timer on the game, 23 minutes left. Currently we're behind like 200 odd points, which is not great. There is a priest here that is unmanned, that technically could be manned. When you reman vehicles, you do need command points in order to do it. You see at the moment we're currently limited to 20 command points, and every unit costs a certain amount of command points to have on the map. In the top left of the card, that's how many of each you have left to bring in, and they are finite. So once I lose my Brumbia, for example, I've only got one of them, so I will no longer be able to bring another one in. I'm just gonna let that fire. Also, what we can do, if we want, is retreat units. So if I don't want this Sturmgeschütz anymore, for example, if it's low on ammo or it's quite damaged, we can actually just tell it to go back to base. And that way we will be able to bring in something else instead. And the unit that is damaged or out of ammo will reload over time or repair over time and get put back into our pool to bring in later on. So we need to attack in the middle. So I'm actually just going to bring in some riflemen to help out here. I'm actually going to sell my Sturmgeschütz. And I think what we're going to do is get my Brumbia to fire over here onto the KV-1. We might be able to do some damage if we get a good hit. Oh, looks like that was an AT grenade that did the trick. Yeah, we just want to run on top of that. Oh, there we go. We got it. Nice. Good job by our team there to get the extra 100 points. So that's caught us up quite a lot now, actually. Especially with the kills on top. Oh, bomber coming in for my Brumbia. Did actually do quite a lot of damage to it. See that the tank does have a health bar. That diamond with the green outline. The green is the health. And in the bottom left, you can see that we have a hit points, and we have 44 hit points left. I'm going to try and demolish that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just demolish that unit. So with direct control, you can obviously do it as I'm doing now, or you can zoom in even more, and you can actually go into different sights. In this case, we're in like a periscope view so that we can see what we're shooting at a distance. But in like a normal tank, you'll have like normal tank sights that you can use to snipe things at a distance and get really precise direct control. You can also take control of infantry. So in this case, we're direct controlling his rifle, and if I fire, it might just give away my position, but then I can like zoom all the way in, and we can actually take full control of his like rifle over his shoulder, like third person view. In this case, he's in the trench, so it's a bit janky, but if you bring him out of the trench, I can like run around with him, and we can play it like a third person. But let's just get him back in there for now. And one thing I probably want to do at some point is sell this Brumbier. So I think we're going to do that now. We're going to retreat it so we get our CP back. And then I'm going to bring in a Sturmpanzer in its place. So we've upgraded from a Sturmgeschütz 3 to the Brumbier to now a Sturmtiger. And this Sturmtiger will be able to annihilate this reinforced concrete pillbox or any of the infantry that are building in front. So he's gone for the sandbags. So infantry can build sandbags as well, but we're more interested in this bunker. So let's just demolish that. Probably missed. Probably still killed a bunch of units there. You saw the wave of infantry just get blown forwards. We definitely need to move this. The eye icon near the top here shows that we have been spotted, and as long as that remains the case, the enemy can see the unit. So we just need to keep driving around until that disappears, and then it will turn into like a light bulb icon. Yeah, and then you can see that they can no longer see us. So we'll just go back to where we were, more or less. Try and avoid the planes in the meantime that are getting shot down by the Bofors there that has been dug in and camouflaged, which is cool. And take down the recon as well. The recon did spot my Sturmtiger, so we've got to be a little bit careful. This Sturmtiger takes ages to reload, by the way, so we won't be using it that often. I would be tempted to bring in a second, but it get a little boring waiting for them to reload the whole time. The left side's completely broken open. Our teammate here has done a great job. What I'm going to do, though, we're going to bring in a Sturmgeschütz in the mid, the Stug 3, and we're going to bring in a rifle unit to go with them so that we can make a play for the front line here. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to drive actually pretty close to this bunker, and I'm going to destroy it. This thing is relatively well armoured, so I should be able to get pretty close without it being too much of a problem. And this player that we're playing against did leave. Let's hope we don't miss this time. That guy is sat in front of the bunker. You do not want to be there, mate. Oh, there we go. Boom. Nice. That just killed everyone in there. Awesome stuff. Right. We need to kill off these guys. Nice. Just run these forwards. We need to check out this area. I'll send one of my guys ahead just to check it out. And then we're gonna head up the mid here with the rest of them. They might as well stand up. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else there. It's okay. Move up with the Stug. If we come up against enemy armor, I'm probably going to want to button up. But against infantry, having the awareness with the Stug is very useful. Bombing strike coming in. I'm going to move my Stone Tiger over here so that we can use it in this push. He cleaned out the trench, that's good. Because he pretty much destroyed the trench, it collapsed. And so all of the bodies are trapped in there. It looks pretty grim actually. You might be noticing that we are playing against the Germans whilst we are the Germans. It's because all of the teams in the multiplayer tech test were mixed factions, which I know will probably upset some people. But alas, it is what it is. I think they probably did it for queue times more than anything else. Though I haven't really been minding it too much. Enemy Su-76 on the horizon. That's definitely dead. What is that? Oh, it's a Mine Flayer M4. Not for long. I didn't actually think that would kill it, but it did. That was epic. Okay. Let's move away here. We need to move ASAP or we're going to get hit by cannon battery. That was really, really awesome. That is one thing I have been enjoying in this game. Like, the explosions are so satisfying. Like, some of the kills on like the big caliber stuff is really, really awesome. And for example, counter battery in this game is just it's just so brutal. It really is. I shouldn't be ignoring that bazooka. It's kind of dumb. My Stug is really damaged. I might actually get it to retreat. And then we'll replace it with maybe the Brumbier or the Panzer IV. I kind of need some anti-infantry. Saboteur comms officer. Ah, well, goodbye to the the Stug, I suppose. Right, let's bring in the Panzer IV, and I do need to bring in some more riflemen, so we'll bring up some recruits that we can charge into the fray. Now, another thing I did want to mention is a couple cool things, actually. The first is that all of the units in the game, as far as I'm aware, have different skins and models depending on the weather and the map. I don't know if it's necessarily weather dependent, but definitely map dependent. For example, in this case, we have snow uniforms on. We got like the coats and stuff. If you're in like a nicer environment, then you get like summer outfits, like normal uniforms basically. And then yeah, if it's like a desert, then you might have like a more tan camo and stuff like that. It's really cool. Anyway, we did just win. We came like 4th on our team. We got 86 infantry kills and 6 vehicle kills, which gave our team 79 points. Now, we won pretty early on because we got 2,500 points. We just broke their front line right open in this game. Usually games have been going a little bit longer than this, not going to lie, but I think that's a nice place to wrap up. I'm just going to exit out of this and we'll go back to the main menu. Now, another thing that I was going to mention before the game ended there is that if you crash out of the game, I found that I could reconnect to the game in progress, which was awesome. That's something that I haven't really seen in any RTS ever, like done successfully. It was really impressive. I crashed out of the game. I was like, oh, that's a shame. You know, it's beta, it's buggy, whatever. And then I loaded the game back up and just expected just to queue for a new multiplayer game, but no, it loaded me straight back into the game I was already in, and no auto sync or no syncing issues whatsoever. It was crazy. I was like, it actually blew my mind. So I had to mention it in the video today. But yeah, hopefully that shows you a brief look at the game and how it works. It's kind of like Steel Division game mode with Men of War on top. So I actually really kind of enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. I am less convinced about some of the dumbing down of the Men of War mechanics, and also the graphics maybe not being as good as I would have expected them to be for a 2023 Men of War. But, you know, I think there are improvements to be made for sure when it comes to presentation, UI, graphics and all that kind of stuff, but maybe they've got something going here. I had been having a lot of fun with the multiplayer there, and I played quite a few games. But that's about it. That's all I'm going to say for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.